And okay, here we are. And I might as well do some more Dark Souls 2. So let's see, I saved Rosabeth, I upgraded the Pyromancy Flame. Let's see if Malden has any new gear. The way that is done is after you kill the boss, I believe you rest up and return to a shop. And you should have some new gear here. Also, Melancho's here for some reason. Anyway, let's just go up here. Go over to him.
Oh, I've stopped. They've been selling.
He says he stopped. Okay, yes, he has the stuff here. Penal skirt, penal cuffs, penal straitjacket, penal mask. Mask of the Lost Sinner increases the clip load. Straitjacket of the Lost Sinner. Hand restraints of the Lost Sinner increases power pyromancy.
Always open for business.
The thing that I want to get are those cuffs, because they increase the power pyromancy. Does she still have the lockstone? Yes, she does.
Lively town.
Oh, shut it. Truth be told, I may just pop the Soul of the Lost Sinner because I plan on getting, at the very least, 2 copies of it, along with 1 copy of the Old Witch's Soul. Basically, the way that this works is... I think it's because there's a buff. Okay, No Man's Wharf is now white. That's good. When an area is white, that means that you've done everything you could in the area. Might as well go through the Sour Coin and try to beat the Dragon Slayer. Because I need some more souls. So, anyway, one thing you need to look out for once you kill the Dragon Rider in Hyde's Tower of Flame, the Hyde Knights are no longer sedentary. They will be fully aggressive and they will be after you. That's why I recommend that you fill up the platform here, just so that when the Hyde Knights come after you, you can be better prepared against them. Thankfully, the old Knights here are very much something like the Pirates. But then again, anything is... Come on, get over here. You don't just need the rapier to parry them, you can really parry them with any weapon being held in both hands. Oh, this one dropped something. Another High Knight sword. Okay. As I said, you don't need the rapier to parry them, it just makes it easier. All you really need to parry these bastards are just time. So, let's go with my equipment. Let's put Pyromancy Flame on here. It's already up +3. That's good because Rosabeth sells you Pyromancy Flame. Fire Seeds upgraded with. I'm gonna use the longbow mainly to pull the Night Knight over to where I am. Okay, there he is. Let's see if I can hit him with an arrow. He should be walking past the old knights. I think I see him moving. Unless that's just... yeah, that is him moving. Okay, and there we go. That should pull him over without getting the attention of the old knights. It's important to kill the High Knights first and then the old knights because the High Knights are going to be a much bigger threat. Okay. Down he goes. Old knights, same difference. First, you have to phase change one of their attacks to give them a false sense of security. There we go. Now for this Chungo over here. I have the opinion that it's easier to beat this place once all the High Knights are active after you, I mean, not after you take out the Dragon Rider, that makes the place harder, but what I mean is it's easier to rip through this area from the Dragon Rider bonfire, since you don't have to worry about the High Knights all ganging up around you at the first bonfire. He managed to completely miss me with all of those attacks. Honestly, man. Honestly, for shame. Could also utilize archery to take him out. Okay. Unpop a life gem to heal. Mainly because I don't want to immediately use up an Estus. I'd rather save those for the boss, even though life gems are just the better means of healing. Come on, get over here. Sometimes you can just straight miss the, there you go. It happens. A halberd, which is a hybrid spear, and, well, actually the halberd is more than anything a long spear, but for whatever reason in Dark Souls, it can also be used as an axe. More often than not, I think the axe portion is used to hook onto a person who's on the cavalry to knock them off of their steed. Okay then. I'm dealing with both of these guys at once, the High Knight coming after you along with the other Knight. Run back here, heal. For whatever reason, I'm not too sharp on the parry windows using the Chaos Rapier compared to using normal Rapier. Never understood why. Could just be in my head. I have a feeling that's all just in my head. Take him out. That's just his friend. The good thing about using a weapon like the rapier is that it has very fast attacks, and the good thing about the Chaos Rapier is that it deals fire damage, along with physical damage. That's the reason why it's called the Chaos Rapier, after all.
Pues sí, ¿se enteran si tú ves o no?
Sorry about that. My dad came down here to get something, and You know, for the sake of anonymity and privacy, I muted the audio. No one needs to know what we're doing. Even though it was nothing innocuous, he was just getting... a bag for a change of clothes. It's okay, I think. Yeah, my arrow hits with this are going around his armor. Or rather, I should say it's going around his shield, since his shield is just protecting what is directly in front of him. You get over here. Come on. One thing I never could stand about fighting the High Knights is just the little reach that their attacks have. Good thing about fighting High Knights while having the rapier equipped is that you also have amazing reach. Moving on. Go for this item from this old knight. Cracked blue eye orb. Pop a life gem. Take this guy out. Looks like this big knight's wanna be out. Get my souls back. The easy thing about this is that the dragon's already dead. As shown by the shield I have. Honestly, the Twin Dragon Parma is the best shield in this game, because one, look at its defenses. 90 fire, 75 magic, 75 fire, 60 lightning, 60 dark. While, okay, so this has slightly higher magic defense and higher poison defense. This has higher magic defense, but lower physical. This has perfect physical. The archery shield has a bit better physical, but the reason why I like this so much is because it has excellent physical defenses, and more importantly, it allows me to farm with greater ease. That honestly is the real good thing about this. Still pulling over with some archery. May have to use repair powder here. Do I have the Hexer's boots on? Yes, I do. Note that these knights are giants, so if you get their weapon that is referred to as a sword is technically a great sword. And the weapon that they utilize, which is referred to as a great sword, is an ultra great sword. But since these guys are so big, they utilize what are great swords and ultra great swords with the same ease a normal fighter and dark swords would utilize a sword and a great sword. So make sure to try and get plenty of distance when they're trying to do that big attack there. For this guy, easy thing to do. Archery. Then when he gets close, just Alright, also maybe get some headshots in. He's deadly with that spear, so don't even give him a wide enough berth to even consider attacking you with it. Wait until he gets far away, see if you can bait him to using that, giant, swing, or that 3-stab combo with his spear. Roll out of the way every now and then, poke, and death. I don't think he dropped anything. That guy can drop the spear, as opposed to the High Knight that you find in Sinner's Rise, which is guaranteed to drop the spear. So, I'm going to remove this, I'm going to remove that. I need to go with a moderately fast, moderately powerful weapon. I should use some of these. I think I'm fine how I am. So with the fight against the old Dragon Slayer, which is really just Dragon Slayer Ornstein with the dark magic moveset of Artorias the Abyss Walker. The way I can best describe it is the old Dragon Slayer. I feel like he can be best described as a composite character. Because he's not exactly Ornstein and he's not exactly Artorias, but his moveset and mannerisms show a mix of both, especially when he does that Dark Wave attack, which is a callback to Ornstein inheriting Smaug's soul in Dark Souls 1. Smaug has this signature move he does where he jumps up into the air and slams down on you, using his immense weight to do so, and when Ornstein inherits Smaug's soul, he utilizes a similar martial art. Perhaps he inherited some of Smaug's memories through osmosis. All I know is that the weapon you get from him is nothing to sneeze at. I'm so glad that I used it. Okay, discard. Pop another life gem to stay alive. Okay. And note that the rapier that I'm using is not upgraded. Like, this is just the base damage of the Chaos Rapier. And it is doing work. Again, this is just base damage Chaos Rapier, and look at the kind of work that's doing. Okay. And with that, old Dragon Slayer is dead. We get his souls. More importantly, we get the old Leo Ring, which is a variant of the Leo Ring. Oh, that explains why my health was so low. I had the Northern Ritual Band on still. Anyway, I'm gonna put on the old Leo Ring. It functions identically to the Leo Ring in Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3, except it has a different name. There are some items here that you can pilfer. And there's a knight there. Don't worry about talking to him, he doesn't want to talk to us, until we've proven ourselves as a member of the Blue Sentinels. The way that you would do that is by using the cracked blue eye orb.
Transient being. This is no be gone.
Yeah, he calls us transient being, he says that this is no place for us and commands us to leave. Anyway, with this place, you can't really do anything. The only thing you can really do is get all the stuff in those boxes. He doesn't care that you just take all the shit that's in there. He just doesn't want you to mess with his Order of Knights. So, the way that you get, Sentinel Targray, that's the guy's name, the way that you get him to be on good terms with you is you need to get a token of fidelity. Those are typically gotten by assisting players in-game. Basically, in this game, you can come across people who will need assistance. Might as well get that. More importantly, I'm gonna go get the Pyromancy Enhancer gloves from Malgan. From Malgan.
I'm glad.
Yeah, Malgan. Huh, a name like that. He sounds like he's being displayed.
Thanks very much.
Maybe that's where that place is located. Anyway, the only piece of equipment that he sells that I'm interested in are the penal handcuffs. Slightly heavy, but not as heavy as risking life for them. Okay, so far there are no dropped frames. That is good. That is one thing I like with OBS as opposed to Streamlabs.
Oh, no. You do have a type.
You can buy items from Sheets and from Xiaoqua here. Big ones I'm interested in are these two rings.
Satisfied? I'll be...
The Silver Cat ring and the... Silver Cat and the Ring of Whispers. As for what I need the Silver Cat ring for, you will find out soon enough. I could try to show you now, since I need to go down to an area called the Gutter anyway. So, equipping the Silver Cat ring, and just to make sure that it works, I'm going to remove everything but the pyromancy coin. No, the Hexer's gloves are pretty light. Lighter than the Conjure's gloves, actually. They have better fire defense. One more reason why I love the Hexer set, it has pretty solid defenses for a piece of, Mage's cloth armor, as games like The Elder Scrolls and Dungeons and Dragons would have you describe them. Anyway, so using the Silver Cat Ring, I can survive a fall off of those platforms. I need to be careful though, as if I don't time my falls properly, I won't be able to survive them. Such as that one! Shit. And I fall down the chute. Falling down that chute, even if you fall down from the lowest level, causes you to fall out of the level geometry, so... Why is Xbox open? Anyway, causing you to, falling off of there will cause you to fall out of the level geometry, which will effectively result in an instant kill. There's no way of surviving that. There's a way of surviving that involves me not being a dumbass. If I fall off right here, okay, good, just barely survive. What's this? Shit. Oh, I don't have to worry about those 500 souls. Not as if the amount of souls was a lot anyway. Sometimes when you fall off, you use too much momentum and you end up falling too far. Silver Cat Ring can't save you from that, it seems. Whatever, screw it. I'm just gonna go through the, what's it called? Belfry Luna. That's the next place I want to get to. Also, the swords were pretty good, Covenant. So to get there, you go to the servants' quarters. And in order to enter the area, you need to utilize a Pharaoh's Fox. So basically, you go down the ladder, down to where the pursuer was, all the way down the ladder. You end up here. Wander over here, pop a Pharaoh's Lockstone. Hidden wall brings you to the Belfry Luna. And then from here... Okay, I have the blades on. I don't really need these. Why did I just move? I think I had the controller too far down, and it... yeah. And it moved the... And it moved the thumbstick a bit. Not the end of the world. I'm gonna put on the quarantine ring instead. So, this is the Belfry Luna. From here, you can join the Bellkeeper Covenants. These people are devoted to a princess and a prince.
Stay back all your pieces. A long time ago, the princess should know me. Yes, just like so.
These people could be puppets.
The princess honor. Stay away, foul. Stay back.
Since they mention a princess of,
When you're round, spasm. In, open the bell of the princess. In, then the bell.
yeah, there were two kingdoms, Alkin and Ven. They were at war. But the princess of Alkin and the Prince of Ven decided to special commission and guard these bell towers to protect their love. And what it basically means is that the bell towers were used by these two individuals. They would ring it every night as a show of their love, and I'm guessing either their love was found out and they were executed, or they just spent the rest of their lives never being together. Or maybe they went full Romeo and Juliet and went into and did some kind of weird suicide pact as a result of their wishes not being met. So there are two belts. One over here in Alpin, which is part of the territory where the Lost Bastille is, and Ven is the territory where the Old Iron Keep is. And you access the belfry. This place is called the Belfry Luna. You can also access a belfry called the Belfry Soul from the Old Iron Keep. Called the Belfry Soul because the place is constantly lit, although the trespasser is set foot in the bell tower and greeting as a great spirit. Cool. I got to show you what all the meat and potatoes of this covenant is about. So I believe you need to be both a member of the Covenant and have the Bellkeeper's seal on. And you enter the world of Cave Hollow, whatever it is. Oh hey, he has Master What's Going for helping him. That's just really fun for doing fighting, isn't it? Man, have some fun. Well, who the hell am I kidding? I'm the one invading him. I don't have any honor whatsoever. Can't use any healing items here. Oh, he got me. And I'm dead. GG, my good man, GG. He seems to have started out as the cleric, seeing as how he's wearing the Archdrake robes and has the mace as his main weapon. Reasonable. Perfect for this area, considering the fact that the boss of this place is weak to lightning and weak to lightning, like, susceptible to strong against fire, susceptible to dark, weak to lightning, and is also weak to blunt damage. So him being a cleric is actually perfect for this area. Anyway, you go over to this box. It contains a Twilight Herb and a Dusk Herb. Speaking of which, I should equip a hammer for this fight. One of the hammers that I have are upgraded, which... I'll try venturing all the way back down to McDuff and trying to get it upgraded from him. Trespasser is set foot in the bell tower and greeting as a dark spirit. Okay, I'm gonna pull out my longsword for this. And that's basically how this covenant works. It's basically a full-blown PvP covenant. It's kind of the complete antithesis of the Sunborough Covenant. Invaded the world of Arabonia. Hello? He seems to be attacking the, Bellkeeper's target was already destroyed. Not by me, but by... I don't know, maybe he was probably up on the higher floor. The Bellkeeper enemies attacked him and either killed him or knocked him off. That sucks. I wanted to see my metal against his. Oh well. And I don't mean metal as in M-E-T-A-L, the material, but metal as in M-E-D-D. I think it's L-E or E-L. Not sure. Another trespasser. I'm gonna take the ring off after this, because I want to try to fight the boss. But yeah, I think the way that the PvP works for the Bellkeeper Covenant is you invaded the world of Yvain. And yes, it's not pronounced Iwan, it should be Yvain, because in Old English, the W is pronounced like two V's. Where the hell is he? He's up on the upper floor. Well, I'm just gonna stay down here and wait for him. Warcry. Ah, there he is. Someone's cut that sword. Come on, the other Bellkeepers are gonna kill him. That's no fun. I'll just wait around here and wait for him to kill the normal enemies. He has a katana. Good for him. Katana's a good weapon. Okay, I think he ruled out the way that attack. That guy's just swatting around the line of me with his weapons. He appears to be having... Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, I think he's having a connection issue. Anyway... Bow. Let's be nice. I was gonna say, he doesn't have any Estus. I would gladly give him some life gems to keep his ass alive with. Hello. Let's do this. He's bowing back. That's good. That means that he wants to engage us. So, yeah. How do you like having a flame ignite around you? That katana he has is pretty good. It looks like he's using the katana. GG. I didn't mean to gang up on him when those bell keepers came by, so I stayed out of his way so that he could take them out. I hope he didn't think that the reason why I did that was to let the bell keepers do the fighting for me. I just wanted him to take out the bell keepers. Anyway, I'm gonna go to Macduff, just in case I'm gonna remove the ring. I think the way that the algorithm works is you need to have the ring equipped while being a member of the bell keepers to ensure that you can evade. I mean, not evade, but invade. So I think the drop down to get to the hidden section is through here. It is. Marvelous. It's a pretty decent place where you can farm spices. This and the Belfry Soul. Or no, I'm mistaken. The Belfry Soul is where you can farm spices, unless there's a spice on this body. And there is. The Skeptic Spice. Nice. So the way that the spices work is that there are two types. Skeptic Spice and Simpleton Spice. As the name suggests, they are both utilized to reduce the stat threshold for using magic. So, if you, say, wanted to use a really powerful sorcery, but you didn't have enough magic for it, you could use a moderate amount of Simpleton Spices to... Who do I want to go with this fight? Okay. Oh, and I managed to spread the fall, that's good. There's still going to be a crap ton of Dragon Lake soldiers down here, so I still need to be careful. Anyway, with the spices, there are two types. Skeptic Spice and Simpleton Spice. The way that they work is that the Skeptic Spice lowers the faith threshold for using magic by 1, and the Simpleton Spice reduces the intelligence threshold by 1. So, a perfect example of this are hexes. You see how a dark orb, it requires 12 intelligence as shown by that face, and 10 faith as shown by that glimmer, that star? Say you wanted to utilize them, but you only had 10 faith and 10 intelligence. Don't fret, because if you have the Skeptic Spice, or not Skeptic Spice. Skeptic Spice would be for faith. I'm talking about what I would mean is Simpleton Spice. So you could use the Simpleton Spice to reduce the stat threshold you need for that sorcery. I don't think there's any way to get up there. Unless I try doing a trick jump. Well, wish me luck. Oh wow, that actually worked. Okay. And... could just go up the normal way and then climb down using the elevator. I think that would be easier. So I think that's the only way I can go from here to make it back to Macduff, so I can increase the power of my weaponry. I would like to utilize the Craftsman's Hammer, but I simply do not have the stats for it, so I will instead put some stats into my... I will instead put some stats into the hammer that I can use. I'm gonna go with Morning Star. Or Morning Stern is another name for probably like a bit of a Anglicanized mistranslation of the original Greek into Old English or some shit. Anyway. So, to make it to Macduff, I just need to climb up here, kill the undead aberrations around here. One just straight up exploded. Oh, nice. And the other one didn't do a complete the other one did. So one of them just full-on complete exploded, and the other just did a partial explosion. I think the ones around here are still alive, and they are. Yeah, the problem with the ones that have the gray smoke in their chest is that they will launch themselves onto the floor and then explode on you. And if they manage to explode, they will do moderate damage and, most horribly, electrification. Oh, they went down in here. Let's go up to where that torture device is. Pop another life gem, just in case. And let's just kill all these undead. This one's gonna chase after me. One is in there. Yeah. Okay. If I had the high enough stats, I would consider getting the barbed club from the Flexile Sentry, but I don't have the stats for it, so I won't even consider it. Anyway, now that I have the Silver Cat Ring, I could try to do that jump. Over here is another instance of Skeptic Spice. What does it say? Rolling required ahead, rock the bloodstain. Yeah, that's a reference to how you can fall if you're not careful, so to mitigate that, I will put on the Soldier's Ring, and in place of the Life Ring, the Cat Ring. The reason why is twofold. The, Soldier's Ring reduces the increases your equipment burden, and the Silver Cat Ring decreases the damage you would take from falls. So my strategy is twofold. I'll put my shield back on because I'm going to try to see if I can get some equipment from this thing. The shades, the Mira shades, can drop their gear. Farm them for. One to not drop anything. Oh well. If I'm correct, yeah, there's a Pharaoh's device here, but I don't have the lockstone needed to use it. Okay, let's get these guys out. Came out using Pyromancy. Not only does it do moderate damage, but it completely ruins his poise. That's one good thing about Pyromancy is they deal amazing poise damage for the damage that they do, for normal damage that they do. Kill the two dogs. Wait for that soldier to come down. To incentivize his coming down from there, I'm going to put on a throwable weapon. In this case, lacerating knives. Now, we go in here. Pick out the aberration before they have a chance to explode on us. Pop a life gem. Go into here. Pull out those boulders to kill, pull out those barrels to kill the other two aberrations before they have a chance to explode on us. Pop down another life gem. Also, with area, you can break the wooden supports to the wall. You can do the same thing here. Hits. I thought I saw something move out of the corner of my eye, but it was just my blind spot acting up. It was a little average in the corner of my eye. Okay, he fell down. Know what it is you wanted to do, and I'm not gonna let you do it. So take out the dogs. Hopefully they drop some good shit for the human effigy. These dogs are an excellent place to find for human effigies, by the way. Just put on whatever gear you have that has the best chance of enhancing your item drop chance. And just go haywire on these dogs. As disturbing as that sounds. Also, you can also utilize the Bastille key to open this gate leading directly to Macduff's Forge if you weren't aware of the drop that you can do. So now then with these, I don't have enough Titanite shards to enhance them. Shit. Well, okay, let's buy some items from him. He does sell more large shards, but I'm not interested in that. Well, anyway, let's put on the Craftsman's Hammer, and let's see. Some of these hammers have the most damage. Craftsman's Hammer. Craftsman's Hammer by a long shot. Well, anyway, since I have no intention of hiking back, I could go to Majula and enhance this shit, which is what I'm gonna do. Since Macduff doesn't have the items I'm looking for, I'm just gonna go to Majula and buy the standard Titanite shards from Leningrad. And then I'm gonna upgrade it that way. He also has a standard mace, which I could utilize. I mean, I have the stats to utilize the, But right now, let's just buy the mace from him. And reinforced weapon, let's see how much... Actually, no, I need to buy Titanite from him. Titanite shards, he sells 10. So let's reinforce weapon, and let's go over to the hammers. So 121, 120 goes to 132, 110 goes to 121, this goes 160, what about that? That goes 105 to 115. So the mace is clearly better.
I'll be around.
Well, let's put the mace. It's a normal mace. You could get a magic mace in the Huntsman's Copse, but I'm not gonna go here just yet. Actually... Well... No, aren't I an idiot? I could just go to the Huntsman's Copse and speed my way over to where the mace, the magic-infused mace is, and get that, but whatever. Screw it, I already have this. So the deal with the Belfry gargoyles is that they are weak to strike. They are also very much weak to lightning. They are also susceptible to... They're weak to magic. They're like susceptible to lightning. Oh no, they're weak to lightning, susceptible to dark, susceptible to magic. So basically, on tiers of weakness, lightning is number 1, magic and dark I think are both number 2. Fire is dead last as far as elements are concerned, and as far as damage attributes are concerned, they're susceptible to thrust, strong against slash, and weak to bullets. Which makes sense since they're gargoyles. They're made of stone. So it makes sense that a hammer would do good damage against an enemy made of stone. I got invaded by a dark spirit. Turug, or Tsurug. Strange name, anyway. Let's wait for him to come down here. He won't try to get the drop on me. Hopefully he won't try to get the drop on me. Where is he? He probably thinks I'm up above. Let's go up the stairs. He's probably right here at this platform. Knowing how some players are with the PvP thing, this is like a golden opportunity to get some pot shots in. Or not. Really. Come on, get over here. Okay, gonna pop a life gem. Oh, didn't mean to point, I meant to bow. Let's bow to show him that I care. And let's get this fight started. Is he AFK? I'm gonna give him to a count to 10. If he doesn't respond in 10 seconds, I'm just gonna wail on him. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, he seems to be AFK. Either that or he's baiting me into doing a stupid attack. A dark spear invaded. Oh, okay. So if I have the time to deal with you and with the Gray Spirit, so I'm glad the Gray Spirit AFK at the moment. How did he... You, my friend, have no honor whatsoever. Especially... and another... Good for you, Mr. Olivenaire. And... I see. That was weird. Okay, at least he's not AFK anymore. Maybe he was waiting for someone else to invade and take me out. And if I had to take a stab in the dark, I'd say that was Sarug's plan to see if someone else could. What settings are on my microphone? Properties. Okay, it has a blue snowball. Good. I was worried that it may have had the crappy microphone that's built into my PC. Yeah, the mic that I'm using is a blue snowball. Best investment I have ever made. Some of my friends have a blue ice. Or no, blue Yeti. Ice snowball is the one that I have. I got the black one, so I can say that I have a black ice snowball. Down he goes. Honestly, when it comes to weaponry to utilize against the gargoyles, the spear is also a good pick because the sweeping attack you do with its the sweeping attack that you do with its shaft is considered blunt damage, and not slash damage. That's how the partisan works in Dark Souls 3. Personally, I think that slash damage makes sense if you're hitting with the points of the spear, and blunt damage makes sense if you're hitting with the shaft of it. Regardless, now that I'm ready for the boss fight, let me pop an effigy. Let me also pop a life gem. If I was feeling really stupid, I could try using a bonfire aesthetic here. But I'm not feeling daring or stupid, so I won't do that. Oh no, wait, that's not what guy is. Here he is. Here is one Master with one core. He's the great sword dude that helped with the fight against the, or rather that would have helped with the fight against the Dragon Rider if I hadn't completely murdered him with the power of archery. Anyway, I forgot about the bell keepers up here, so I'm going to take them out. That one fell down. London Bridge has fallen down. Oh, anyway, that missed. I'll let Glencore try his hand at dealing with those two. I will take this guy out. And, well, let's see. I believe what I forgot to do is pull this lever, activating the button. Maybe I didn't give it enough time for the animation to play out. Okay. There's also another player here. Velosa, who is, cosplaying as Kraken. The more the merrier, I say. Especially since this is what some people in the Souls community like to call a wolfpack boss, in the sense that multiple gargoyles will attack at once. So, I say, the more the merrier. Oh, he's utilizing, he appears to be utilizing Dark Weapon. I don't have the weapon buff yet. The one that I'm going to utilize is, Fire Weapon, or Chaos Weapon, whatever it is called. You get that from the... You get that pyromancy from the, Old Witch's soul. Basically, the way it works is that the Old Witch is either a reincarnation or a simple inheritor of the soul of the Witch Vizalith. For these guys, one easy way to take them out is to utilize pyromancies. Flame Swaith is amazing if you can get it to hit. Especially if you can get going for as well as 2 of the fellouts, because you know the flight to just move them out into a corner, so that you can hit as many of them as you want with your army. Down goes this one. And that one is going to sweep. Marvelous. I think he's using the Fume Sword, considering the fact that it seems to be dealing native dark damage, and the Fume Sword is a straight sword that deals native dark. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Velosa. I hope you have a good day, and enjoy the souls, my friend. You could resuscitate the gargoyles utilizing a bonfire aesthetic. I would prefer not to at the moment. Basically, if you resuscitate them using an aesthetic, you can get a ring from them. Some bosses in the game, when you beat them, drop a +3 ring. In the case of those gargoyles, the +3 ring they drop is the Covetous Gold Serpent +3. Which greatly increases your chance of finding items, but I can get the Covetous Gold Ring +2 in the same area where you can get the Covetous Gold Ring 0. So it's not really all that needed. What is needed right now is for me to rest up here because one is going to try to invade, an NPC invader. And I want to be as ready as possible to face him, so let's go to Attunement Spells. Let's put on Combustion. Also, the ring in that metal lockbox is the Southern Ritual Band. The way that the Southern Ritual Band works is that it gives you like an artificial... Okay, that took care of the dogs, almost. Now the dogs are taken care of. And we have been invaded by one Vorgol the Sinner. Vorgol the Sinner is a spearman. He utilizes the long spear. If you are lucky, and I mean that with a capital L, you could potentially get his weapon as a drop. I did not. Over here you get Bright Bug, Petrified Dragon's Tooth, and I believe it was also a human effigy. Over here is another dog. And over here we got an enchanted falchion. Pretty good weapon. The way that the enchanted enchantment works is that it adds intelligence scaling to your weapon. That's not the same as magic, where it adds intelligence scaling and adds magic damage to it. This just adds a multiplier to the raw physical damage that it deals. So let's see how this compares to the normal falchion. Normal falchion actually deals slightly less damage because the enchantment weakens my normal damage. Why are these places treated like as though there's a boss there that I didn't kill when that's totally not? Whatever. You know what, I still have like 30 minutes left before I'm going to call it quits with this, so I'm going to try to run through the Huntsman's Comp, but not before I go to the Farfire Majula. And I increase my stats. Sorry about that weird inflection in my voice, I was scratching.
Bearer of the seek, lest.
Anyway, let's increase my attunement by a smidge more. 20 attunement is good. I can also benefit from... You know what, I'll raise my attunement by 2, and then raise my vigor by 2. I also benefit from raising my endurance by 2, but for right now, let's go with vigor. Adaptability is still dog shit, but that can be fixed by just me taking full advantage of the life gems that I have bought and can continue to buy from Melenchum. Aren't any other fire seeds? Well, anyway. Let's go to the Huntsman's Copse. in the Huntsman's Copse, I recommend that you have a ranged weapon equipped. Preferably a bow, because it is faster, but also using a... But utilizing any kind of weapon works, really. So, yeah. Sometimes these hollows will drop some pretty damn useful items, and by pretty damn useful items, I mean alluring skulls. Skeletons and hollows can drop alluring skulls as a normal drop, which is good. Okay, I got 55 arrows. Do I have any normal arrows, or are they just steel arrows? So 55 normal arrows, 55 steel arrows. Well, anyway, as you saw, there are butterflies here. They look more like moths than butterflies, but I digress. It's kind of ironic when butterflies are actually a subspecies of moths. Butterflies are actually a type of moth. Funny how people think that moths are ugly butterflies, but in actuality, butterflies are just gaudy moths. That guy dropped a torch. Good for me, bad for him. Anyway, so those butterflies are the reason why I recommend you equip a torch. I mean, not a torch, the reason why I recommend you equip a bow. Because if you have a normal bow and you shoot them with an arrow, especially if it's a powerful bow with a long bow, but honestly I think the short bow also deals enough damage to take them out in one hit. You can do enough damage to kill them outright, which is good. Anyway, onwards. So the reason why I have this torch here is because there are mushrooms down there that you can utilize as a platform. For example, those. I'm gonna try to get to those. Wish me luck with the jump. Good. And now from here, there is... Okay, I believe... So there are two enemies down there. A basilisk, which I'm gonna try to poison to death. Wish me luck. So there are two enemies down there, a gigantic basilisk and a torch-bearing hollow. When it comes to the basilisk, I'm going to try utilizing a mix of poison and heavy arrows. And I already got him poisoned, that's good. Poison arrows you get from God One are pretty good, and they're the only real way that you can inflict poison at range without using the Dark Fog Hex or the Toxic Mist Pyromancy. Well, now that he's taken care of, let's go down here. Thankfully, I still have the Silver Cavern on, so I did not take nearly as much fall damage there as I would have otherwise. Let's see, do I have anything that can immediately get rid of poison? No, but I do have this. So, yeah. Anyway, those butterflies can drop poison moss, which is pretty good if you want to avoid getting poisoned. There are two butterflies. One up there. And one right there. Funny how they're called butterflies when they're clearly moths, but I digress. So this place is an excellent place to farm for the poison moss item, which heals poison. Basically, the way that the poison moss works is that upon ingesting it, it maybe either A, exposes your body to the same poison but in a smaller amount so that's easier for your immune system to immediately fight it off, or what I think makes more sense is that it introduces a different poison that in small doses can alleviate you of the poison from the butterflies, like the green poison that you would otherwise face. Anyway, this is another thing that we know very much how to use. You get into the torture device, it never hides like an elevator. That box there had Ricard's rapier. It is a powerful rapier. It looks very similar to the Chaos Rapier, but shinier. It does not have fire scaling, though. It does have a special ability called Ricard's Stance and Lunge, where you go into a stance, immediately poke at the enemy like 20 times with the bow, and then you go in for an immediate lunge to kill them. Anyway, down here there are some hollows. There are also some huntsmen here. They're rogues. The armor that they drop are pieces of an armor set called the Rogue set. Thankfully, they're much like their cloth-based armor. They are not very durable. Anyway, there's a sconce here you can light. I'm not going to be as careful with the butterflies in this area because the rogues can actually drop flame butterflies as a normal drop, which is good. There we go, I was wondering how to hit them. Anyway, dig out those hollows, one has a life gem, that body has a bandit's knife, which is pretty good. It's a relatively fast knife that doesn't have a poking attack as the standard dagger does, but it makes up for that by having higher attack and having bleed. So the bandit's knife has lower critical, no pokes, but higher base attack and bleed, and the normal dagger has lower base attack, higher crit modifier. At least I think that's how that works. Let me check. Let's see, assassin's knife goes down to 65, standard dagger down to 67. Okay, so this has higher critical modifier as shown by the arrow pointing around. That's meant to represent a counterattack. It has a lower crit modifier to normal dagger, but it has higher base damage as well as native bleed, which is good. Ironically, it requires more dexterity to use. So, why don't I try it out? So anyway, there are more rogues here, not going to worry about them since I already lit the sconce. Okay. Yeah, these rogues are a bit of a nuisance to deal with. I was so worried that fall was going to kill me. Let's climb back up the ladder. Hopefully I can deal with them one at a time since it looks like one of them fell. And it looks like it was the one utilizing the twin daggers. Down he goes. I believe you can get the weapons to utilize and drop. No, but that one did drop throwing knives, which is good. Anyway. Here's another rogue down here. Normally the way that he does it is, he tries to get the jump on us from below, but since we're up above, we can get the jump on him from below. Rogue's armor. They're just dropping their armor like candy now. Improved. Okay. This is the main connection from that section to the props. I will show you where their main connection connects in a moment. This is the same same cave that we started out at, as shown by this cave opening that leads back to the bonfire. I'm gonna put back the longsword, it's a better weapon overall. So, yeah, this is the cave, this is the way back. Okay, and then we just continue this way. Back over to the main path where we can... put the poor bastard out of his misery. And the way that we're supposed to go through this place is entering through here. You can break these windows and introduce some much needed light into the area. Get out of the way, because once you attack that door, a rogue is going to come out and try to stab you to death. Rogue who is moderately deadly with that weapon, I must add. Well, anyway, this way leads to the spot where you can get the token of fidelity. The way you get it is just run. Run off the platform, and you can land on there without issue. If you try to jump, there's a good chance that you can somersault off of the platform and fall into the water. Constantly charming soul, proud knight, the wondrous. Is there any way that I can safely drop down to that mushroom? Looks like there is. And then from there, what, do I jump? No. Never mind. So anyway, as we know, to get back up, that cave just leads back around to the same cave structure as here. To get back, you take the elevator / torture device shop. And this bastard must have nerves of steel. Because I know that I would not be calm enough to ride that thing like an elevator. I would crap my pants. Pop a life gem just to make sure. Here we go. Now we enter the building, walk back up around. You take this ladder down. Go over to this cave. Next to the cave is a tree, which you can kick down and utilize as a bridge. If you want to use that as a shortcut, and as far as I'm concerned, that kind of shortcut's superfluous since there's a bonfire right here. Anyway, from there, there will be scores and scores of enemies. One of which being those hollows that are armed with torches, and hollows armed with swords. That's not the most dangerous enemies really, though. The two most dangerous enemies are the ones wielding... the ones wielding sickles. That guy, they're by far the most dangerous, well, one of the more dangerous enemies here. Honestly, there's another sickle-wielding torture in the tops that are significantly more deadly than that thing. Oh, and I got a sickle. Nice. That's usually a very rare drop, and I'm glad that I got it. As you saw by that small amount of material falling down, there is a butterfly there. Shoot it down, take its contents. Poison moss, great. There's an item over there. I believe also protected by a butterfly, yes. Same as before, shoot it down, take the moss that drops. Life gem. Another instance of poison moss. Oh, I got invaded by the Forlorn. Lovely. So the Forlorn are undead that Aldia experimented on as an attempt to stop the undead curse. Tragically, when it comes to Aldia's experiments to stop the curse, they all backfired. In the case of the Forlorn, they backfired in the sense that not only did the Forlorn go hollow faster than the standard warrior of Drain Lake, but the Forlorn also lost their physical body. Without a physical body to utilize, they have no choice but to haunt the spaces between realities and invade whatever undead they can to try and find a place where they can live. It's honestly quite sad when you think about it. That guy mentions a potential sniper spot. Maybe he's talking about the butterflies. I'm not sure. Not sure in the slightest. Anyway, there's another triple wielding hard ass here. Take him out. He, for whatever reason, is guarding a small smearing of aromatic ooze. And here, I believe, is a Morningstar. Yep, the Morningstar and the soul of a large soul soldier. There is an NPC that we can summon. One Bashful Ray. We'll see more of what... You know what? I'll summon him just to show what he can do. So, Bashful Ray is a shade. His range isn't all that good compared to other types of phantoms, but that's not what's important. What's important when it comes to Bashful Ray is the kind of good that he can do in combat. He basically is a ninja. He fights wearing the Mira shade equipment, and he has he has a ring on that naturally gives him hush. There he is. He uses daggers. He's basically a ninja, or a rogue. Look at down here. Okay, he's gonna be complicated about it. Usually they just immediately jump down into the hut to try and ambush you. Anyway. So this leads to the Undead Lockway. Let's see, there should be another I was wondering where the other roads were. Down he goes. The good thing about Ray's daggers don't really do all that good damage, but they do stun lock rather well considering how fast they are. Anyway, that opens up a path there, leading to the Undead Purgatory. Okay, so there was a rope there, but he already jumped off. Gonna call the stream quits pretty soon here. Going to just take out that Scion Knight, and I got his helmet, pretty good. Poison Moss and Green Blossom. As with all items guarded by Scion Knights, this one guards a Sublime Bone Dust for some reason. That body has the Sorcery Soul Spear for some reason. How many pieces of Titanite do I have by chance? I have 4 pieces of normal. That's enough to get one weapon to rank 2. Yeah, there's an undead that runs around there. His whole shtick for being here is that he basically acts as a distraction. You basically spend so much time chasing after him that you don't realize that you're wandering into a trap. Okay, any lost frames? Still no dropped frames, so that's good. Gotta love OBS when they're stable. Okay, Bashful Ray helps out with some of the combat here. So, that hut there is locked, and you need a key to open it. That key is found here. As I was saying. Oh yeah, he also has a ring on that causes his rolling to appear like a smoke cloud. Along with it just going to be obscuring. So basically Ray's a ninja. He's a ninja. He's dressed like a rogue. He has armor on that prioritizes stealth. Bashful Ray is a ninja. Let's take this guy out. There's another archer. In a section where there's a broken bridge, you're going to find a Drain Lake sorcerer. Who's an necromancer. He used to die here. Thankfully, Ray did a pretty good job of cleaning house. And I believe he backstabbed the other one to death. And as you see over there, there is a shiny. That shiny is being guarded by Ray. Please move, Ray. Visions of rescue. Yeah, that's because there's some hollows in here that are just catatonic. Body there is a flame butterfly. Those rogues don't have anything of use. And now, the main threat of this area are these Drain Lake Necromancers. You're going to see her standing in that cave. These Drain Lake mages participated in necromancy. Task completed. Ray has returned. That's fine. Why did that guy accumulate so much fall damage? Well, whatever. Anyway, those Drang-like, Hollow Mages, there are two varieties. The White Mage and the Black Mage. It's not like Final Fantasy where one deals damage and the other heals. Both of them are mages, so they both use sorceries. The only difference is the Black Hollow Mage are, well, at the very least, the uniform is worn typically by women, but that's not always the case. The sorcery character that you can make and the character Carillion of the Fold both wear the Black Hollow Mage uniform. So it's clear that the men wearing white uniforms and the women wearing the black uniforms are just a formality, and I'm guessing that really there could be any person behind there. If you're lucky with Merciless Verlana here, you could potentially get a rare drop from her, which is any piece of equipment that she has. I don't think you can get the scythe from her. The scythe is a special piece of equipment that you get from the boss. Here's the undead lockaway key. Over there's a butterfly. Okay, make sure you stand. Never mind, I was gonna say make sure you stand at the edge. There is a body there that's a little bit screwy to get to. I believe the way you do it is you just very slightly walk off. And you have to like do it at a weird angle. Anyway. Let's just nudge over little bit by little bit. Ah, damn it. Okay, well, hopefully my souls are where Rolana is. That platform is a bitch to get to. The item that it drops isn't anything too crazy. It is the Falchion. I believe the Falchion has the same moveset as the Hollow Soldier, as the Royal Soldier's Sword. You know, those Drang-like soldiers in places like Lost Bastille that were shooting at me with a crossbow and using a greatsword. That's their weapon. Okay. I just had my bow out to deal with any of those. Amazingly, I have no drop frame, even though this is lagging like crazy. There's the butterfly. Okay. Poison musket. Now I believe the way to get up to there is to just climb up here. Seems lagging like crazy. I should collapse it here. Okay, seems to be running a bit smoother. Goes. Now we just have to wander over. The thing about the Black Hollow Knights, or the Hollow Knights in black robes, is that when you kill them once, they're dead completely. That makes farming for gear a little bit tricky. One way you could do it is just go to the area called the Undead Territory, and until you kill them, you can potentially get their gear. It's still just as rare drop as always. Come on. I hate when sometimes these guys manage to get a perfect headshot on you without even trying, and that's the part that annoys me. The fact that they do the headshot so perfectly without even thinking about it. They're just like, oh, I'm just gonna do a headshot on this guy, like... Okay, going to avoid the marksman, and I'm just going to go across here. Because I already have the key, I just want to get my souls back. Hopefully they're not on that tiny island. because I was able to stand on that island, and no, they're right at the edge of where that island is. Well, you know what? I'm going to equip the, Ring of Light Protection. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. I'm going to try to, like, very carefully walk off the edge to the side. Even if I walk off from this side, I'll be able to land on there just fine. Wish me luck. Well, if I'm correct, I should be able to, Damn it. Fall off the edge again. Well, whatever. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that drop. It's very tricky to get to. If only there was an option where you could very carefully climb off the edge. And climb off that way. That would be much better. Anyway. Let's just first get the undead. While I'm here, I should have gotten the undead purgatory bonfire first. It's getting them much easier. Regardless. That's an executioner. Don't want to deal with him. As opposed to the executioner that had that gigantic ass scythe. That one also has a gigantic ass scythe, but he's much faster than this one. Oh wow, I actually hit the butterfly with that pyromancy. Right. See what kind of damage I can dish out with Fire Orb. Almost enough to kill him. Okay. That guy can drop a torch. Sometimes these rogues can drop flame butterflies. So if you want to try to farm them from these rogues. Definitely a lot cheaper than buying them from Weaponsmith Hornifex. Tell you that much of the fact. Got him and I got the hollow, so, you know, 2 for the price of 1. And all that. Oh, dead. Oh, dead. I'm not gonna bother dealing with all the rogues, this time I'm just going to, deal with the ones, I'm not gonna bother dealing with that item drop, this time I'm just going to pulls and leave. These rogues. Anyway, the whole point of that naked undead running around all over the place is that he's basically trying to ambush us. He's basically baiting us into running over to where the other hollowed rogues are so that we can just get end up on Python. Okay. So now my soul's back, I'm gonna get the walk-away bonfire. Let's get a weapon that's gonna come in handy for both bosses of this area. Set weapon type is a mace, but it's a special mace. Anyway though, once you kill the hollow necromancer, the necromancer mage that's keeping these undead alive, they'll stay dead, like, completely, so don't have to worry about that. Just, go into here, use the undead lockaway key, light the bonfire, and chat with this gentleman here.
Who are you? I thought you had bastard for a moment.
This is the man that paid
You've
locked in
set me
that
free.
container.
The cheeky prick. I am Creighton of Mirror. I travel from land to land to hone my blade.
Yeah, Creighton's a serial killer.
I've heard this land was full of danger. I thought it would suit me perfectly. I joined forces with a man.
We'll find out
why
why in a moment.
He
And by a
took the first
moment, I
chance he
mean
had.
when I complete
try and
both
off
of
me.
these bastards' quest lines.
I decided to set a trap for him here. I can't believe that I was so dense. You be careful of it. He wears
Yep,
this rather
Pete, he said.
unusual ring. I've seen his type. I'm sure I won't be as... He's a slicked Pate. The man with... And don't you believe... I'll find a common foot, babe.
He teaches you the fist bump gesture, and now that the door's open, he's just gonna leave. Okay, so I might as well maybe level up a bit more in Majula. Honestly, I'm quite content with where my current stat loadout is at the moment, so I will just could have used this as a golden opportunity to get that base, but whatever. Anyway,
Bearer, seek the king, lest this...
level up a bit more. Maybe I can see if I can learn some sorceries from Brilliant of Gold. Let's maybe increase my adaptability up to 9. I believe the first adaptability threshold is at +10. So yeah. Good. I believe the concept of Silver Soul is on the way. Good. I found some. Just for shits and giggles, let me see what I can get with the Sinner's Soul from the straight cell. For whatever reason, he still lived in his cell like it's the well-run apartment. I don't know. Ironically enough, though, if God forbid any kind of like society-ending disaster happens, the safest place you could be to find potential shelter, or rather, the best place to find potential shelter in, ironically, is a prison. Think about it, it's properly fortified, although in the case of its current usage, it's fortified to keep the people inside from hurting the people outside, but hey, a wall's a wall, and barricades are barricades.
Well, very fine.
It has a pretty good source of water, food, and utilities. Anyway, from the Lost Sinner, I believe I just got a Great Sword. No, I don't get anything from her. Not even a spell. Okay, so for the Arc Sword, I need 26 Strength, 16 Dex. That is way more than what I would want to deal with. That means 15, 25, a little bit more manageable. But I think I may just go with the Barbed Club. If I get my Strength up to 20, I'll be able to use this without a problem.
Feeble character.
But also maybe get some more magic from him.
Well, very pretty.
Let's see, by item. He also sells pieces of the Forlorn set, which is okay. The Agape Ring will come in handy for farming, so maybe I should get that. Yeah, for right now, I think I'm just gonna get the Agape Ring. When you wear it, it absorbs souls in place of its user. So in late game, if you want to use it to farm for items, but you don't want your soul memory to skyrocket, equip the Agape Ring and it will prevent you from absorbing souls. Well, anyway, now that I'm here, I might as well try to take out skeleton lords. Save that for another time, though, and honestly, I feel like I should save that for another time. Skeleton Lords, I believe I get a ring from them if I beat them. The New Game Plus with a bonfire aesthetic, I believe I get a ring from them that increases my that either increases my casting speed or the amount of spells I can attune, which are both good. Anyway, going to go in here, utilize the reason why I have the torch on here is because there's sconces here. There are also urns with faces drawn on them. Those urns cause your undead curse to build up as you get close to them, and also in this area there are skeletons that are susceptible very much so, to blunt damage. But as you can see, I'm not getting controls from them. The reason why is because the necromancer responsible for keeping these skeletons alive is still alive. So if you were to kill the skeletons and not kill her, after a while, she would revive all of the skeletons here. Anyway, that's done. I don't know if I got the magic mace yet, so let me see if I can see where it is. Blowing skull from that skeleton, good. The magic mace is on this body here. Magic mace and a singular Titanite shard. I believe that means that I'm up to 5? Yes, and there is a mimic here that can drop another Titanite shard. So I believe the way to get there is to take this path around here. Oh no, that just leads back to the Huntsman's Copse. No. Well, okay, I'll show you what to do in order to get to where that, to where there's the crystal lizard. So from him, you get the rogue's gauntlets. You can get any piece of the rogue's set from these guys. Thankfully, the rogue's cloth armor has, surprisingly enough, cloth armor actually has pretty damn good defense against concussive damage. Oh, he got me. Well, anyway, the worst of this place is done. By worst of this place, I mean the necromancer. Sacred chime used by the clerics of Lindell, catalyst for miracles and hexes, serves as a conduit for prayer. I don't know if it mentions that in the description, but that is one of the faster chimes in the game. If not the fastest chime in the game. Which in Dark Souls 3 and all of its other iterations, that honor of being a not so powerful but fast chime is instead used by the Witch Tree chime, which in that game was renamed to the Saint Tree. I believe it's called the Bellvine in that game, and in this game. In this game, it's the Witch Tree Bellvine, and in Dark Souls 3, it's the Saint Tree Bellvine. Okay. How dare you? You gotta go. Anyway, let's just find our way over here, take out the roads. Now that the, that's the bridge that leads to the other side there. So, while I'm here, this basically just shows you where the boss is. This is simply a bridge leading to the other side of those platforms there, as shown by the skeletons here. These are skeletons that we have already taken out. So that's where the ultimate path is. And break that cursed stern before we get even more cursed. Anyway, okay, that gate's closed. Basically, from that side, there's a crystal lizard that will try to run away. Crystal lizard is only accessible from the other side, which you reach by going around this way. Running all the way around past where the boss is. Where these rogues are. Okay. Might as well pop a human effigy here. I do want to try to take out the boss of this area. Though maybe it would have been better for me to pop a human effigy after I upgrade the magic infused mace. Either way, I have a standard mace, so that's just as good. Anyway, the path that you take to go to the other side, where that broken bridge is this way. Just go behind this waterfall, follow the cliff across to where the waterfall is. Jesus, the particles and sound from the waterfall are causing the flames to drop by God. So yeah, from there, you take this path leading out here. It leads you to a clear expanse, where you will find some skeletons. Thankfully, the necromancers are already dead, so you don't have to worry about these skeletons respawning upon being killed. You just have to kill them once, then you'll be done with it. I don't know what the archer was. There he is. Wearing a crown of thorns. Possibly in a bastardization of the religious rites of any kind, really. And here's a crystal lizard. Flanked by a skeleton, that crystal lizard drops some pretty good shit. Drops a titanite shard, a large shard, a chunk. Anyway, I'm going to stop the stream here, and next time I'll summon Cretan the Wanderer and make my way to the boss of this area, which will be made a complete and utter joke if you have a weapon that can do good blunt damage. My personal favorite is the spear. Because look at how much sweep this has. Could also go back to Majula and just level up my gear. And by level up my gear, I mean strengthen my gear. More specifically, I mean strengthening the magic infused mace gear. I could buy a standard mace from Leningrad, just compare its stats from this, because this one is obviously going to be better. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that. Before I do anything else, I'll take this shortcut back, go to Majula, compare the stats of the standard spear to, the standard mace to the magic infused mace. Another texture in here and another skeleton. So anyway, I'll show you why it is I like using the spear against skeletons. Look at how much damage that dealt. The heavy attack does pure strike damage. Since you're striking enemies with the shaft of the weapon. There we go. There's the summon sign here. You know what? I'll summon this guy. Something failed. This sign has disappeared. Okay, I'm guessing the summoning has disappeared because the guy was already summoned by someone else. Not the end of the world. Gonna go to Majula. Brayton's pretty good against that guy. His weapon is the Dragon Slayer's Axe. A relic from the time of the old gods. That will do lightning damage, so maybe Creighton has a moderate amount of faith in some deity that we're not aware of. Either that, or maybe he's just so strong that he can do max damage with that axe anyway. So anyway, I'm gonna go talk to him. Oh god, the game is lagging to hell and back. Yeah. Item. Let's see, that's 120. Magic infused mace is slightly higher than 120, so the magic infused mace is just better. So let's reinforce it. One, two, three. Could also maybe put some more large shards in my rapier and my spear. Ooh, now there's only one more.
I'll be around.
There we go. Now for the boss, I can utilize this and the magic infused mace, both of which should be pretty damn powerful. Let's take a look at their damage. So, right hand weapon 2, 297. Right hand weapon 3, 231. So the mace is holding its own here. Let's compare its damage to mace plus 3. Slightly less. So the magic mace is better than the standard mace. Launch is still here. I could go to the cat Shalqua and get something from her. I could pop the Lost in her soul, especially since I would need to talk to Weaponsmith Artifacts to get anything from it. Her location will be found out soon. I mean, I do have some smooth and silkies and petrified somethings. So let me go back to the things betwixt and see if I can get something good with them. The way that it works is if you want to give the crows the petrified something and the silky stones, in the case of the silky stones, when you go to the menu on what to do with the item, don't select use, select drop, or select leave. Let's see, let me show you what I mean. So, take for example the smooth and silky stones. Don't select discard, and don't go with the leave selected. You have to leave them one at a time. Leaving like 3 of them at once on the crow's nest will make the game think that you're dropping a different item there. So it's in your best interest to just drop one item at a time to the crows. And yeah, I really do need to terminate the stream because its frame rate is something else. Anyway, if you were to light all the sconces in this area, which I technically can do, but I don't really want to do that until later, you could potentially get another petrified something. One good thing about the crows is I will demonstrate with a magic mace, or I will demonstrate with really any weapon. Like a weapon that I wouldn't mind breaking. I'm gonna do it with a weapon that has low durability to begin with. Let's go with one of these broken straight swords. As you see, attacking the area where the crows are, for whatever reason, causes your weapon durability to plummet. That'll come in handy for a weapon later. Anyway, for the crows, let's go over to our items. First, let's drop these. Let's leave 1. Leave 2. Leave 3. Leave 1 of those, and I'll leave 1 of... No, I don't want to discard. With the petrified something, be careful. You can't use it for anything, so it automatically goes to leave, as its only purpose is to be dropped off to the crows. Anyway, got a Faint Stone, Twinkling Titanite, pretty good. Titanite Shard, pretty good. Radical Eye Orb, Titanite Slab. It's pretty good, actually. Especially the Twinkling Titanite and the Titanite Slab. There's a way that you can farm infusion stones. In fact, I might as well show you how you farm them. Basically, the standard size basilisk, so not the giant one, but the standard size basilisk. I don't know if the one in Hyde's Tower near the wharf drops them, but I know that the ones here and the things betwixt past that fog door guarded by a statue, as well as the ones in the Shaded Woods drop Titanite gems, like the Faint Stone. Let me show you what I mean. So you go over here, you see how this one here is called the Faint Stone. Now it's from a Bleed Stone, makes equipment lacerating, imbues weapon with magic. That's very good because they allow you to infuse weapons with magical elements. In the case of the Faint Stone, it infuses with magic. If you were to get I believe it's called a Magic Stone or an Enchanted Stone, it allows you to enchant the weapon like the Falchion I have, like the Enchanted Falchion. The difference between magic and Falchion is much like with this mace. Magic infusion adds magic damage to the weapon. In Dark Souls 3, they renamed it to Crystal, but it does the same thing. It applies just raw magic... well, not raw magic damage, it just applies magic elemental damage to it. Now the Enchanted Stone and the Enchanted Weapon functions differently. Instead of adding an elemental modifier, or instead of adding an elemental attribute, it just messes with the modifiers. Where the weapon not only scales with... like, it still deals physical damage, but instead of just scaling with your strength and dexterity, or pure strength, or pure dexterity, or what have you, it scales with your physical stats, strength and dexterity, along with your magic. Or rather, your intelligence stat. So that is awesome. Anyway, come next time, I'm going to, do the fight against the Skeleton Lords. One piece of advice I would very much recommend for the Skeleton Lords is to get a large amount of Roaring Skulls. Easiest way to get them, easiest way to farm for them, I mean, is to go to a straight cell that will show you right now. Just put on whatever equipment you can that increases your item find. Hopefully I have the prisoner's tatters. I don't. But I do have the merchant's hat. Merchant's hat and the shield, and the shield greatly increase your item find chance. So the easiest way to farm for Iron Skulls, in my opinion, is to just go to straight sell, equip a rapier, a spear, a lance, anything that deals thrust damage so you don't risk damaging straight in the process. And kill these undead. And hopefully they drop Iron Skulls. It's not always guaranteed, but it is a relatively common drop that they have. One easier way to do it is to put on the Covenant, is to join the Company of Champions, and then farm it that way, because with the Company of Champions, you don't have to worry about the enemies permanently dying. You can just farm them to a heart's content. Okay, fire orb. Nothing. Okay. But yeah, these undead aberrations are far and away the easiest way to farm Iron Skulls. I already got 2 pretty much so far. And I'm not even trying to do this seriously. If I was, I would equip the Company of Champions. Maybe put on the Agape Ring, even though the amount of souls that these guys drop are goes into other, like, sources of revenue. I think that's it for these guys. And yeah, I already got 2 more Iron Skulls. And the reason why the Iron Skulls are so effective is because in the Skeleton Wards fight, when you kill one of the Skeleton Wards, their bodies explode into, like, wisps of flame. Those wisps of flame embed themselves into the ground, possess other skeletons that continue the fight. So the wards themselves are just, like, half of the total bar, and the other half of the total bar are taken up by the skeleton thralls that they have. Oh, while I'm here, I might as well go through the enemies here and Snooze Rise, not very better too. But yeah, straight sell is by far and away the best place to farm for Iron Skulls. Just go there, kill the undead, rest, kill the undead, rest, kill the undead, until they all die. At which point you just need to equip the Company of Champions, and it brings the game into a pseudo New Game Plus, and also allows the enemies to permanently constantly revive. Which is pretty good. It is pretty good. I'm going to put on my... Oh yeah, I can talk to a Sentinel Targray and join the Blue Sentinels while I'm here. I might as well equip the Leo Rings. It's my weapon. Mainly one that deals the rest damage. I love this spear. You can get a weapon that's effectively an upgrade to it, called the Partisan from Weapons of One Effects. If you want to go crazy farming for things like stones from the giant not giant, I mean the ogre from Forest of the Fallen Giants. And you want to go crazy farming for stuff with like full-blown farming gear, my best recommendation would be to equip the Company of Champions. And to keep your soul memory from going too high, if you're like mid or late in the game and you want to keep your soul memory around where it is, then you just equip the Agape Ring. I might as well show you how the Agape Ring is. I'm going to equip it. And as you're going to see, I'm not going to be able to gain any souls from these guys. Kill them, and although it shows the animation of reabsorbing their souls, I don't get any souls. Okay, that's 9. Hopefully I can get a few more. I would recommend having at least 10. And maybe getting Sorcery Urn from Carillion of the Fold. Oh, this one kind of really dropped one. It's full. Nice. drop anything. The good thing is, if you just rest at the bonfire but don't leave the area, then any item fall, or rather any item drops that you find will still be in the area. And yeah, as shown there with Strayed, if you kill the Forewarned, you get pieces of their equipment that which sells to you. I don't know how it is that Strayed gets access to the Forewarned's equipment, but hey, he already knows how to do soul transposition, so maybe he just uses some other kind of magical mumbo-jumbo to get it going. Well, anyway, my setup is pretty good so far. Rank 5 spear, rank 4 mace, decent amount of tools. I think I'll do fine against the,
Well, that's fine.
One of the Forewarned... Well, the Forewarned armor is honestly pretty good fashion-wise. While I'm here, I might as well get some other hexes, some other pyromancies maybe. And maybe another copy of Dark Orb, and... This one here, although it looks weird, it's Affinity. Basically the way Affinity works is you summon, like, wisps of dark. It's basically Homing Soul Bass, but salt flavored. Probably the best way I can describe how it is the Dark Elements and Dark Souls is. And as you can see, killing an enemy 3 times permanently kills them, so if you want to farm them further, just join the Company of Champions. Anyway, I'm gonna go to Majula. Token of Spite is another token I can use to potentially get more stuff. Anyway, I'm going to go into Majula. I'm going to go to Carillion of Gold. I don't know if any other fire suits in my inventory. I don't. So Carillion is over here.
Oh, so you've... Let us resume.
You can... He also allows you to reinforce your Pyromancy Flame for some reason. Maybe anyone can just utilize Pyromancy if they're skilled enough. Anyway, the sorcery I definitely want to get from him is Yearn. And maybe Great Soul Arrow. I'll also try getting Great Heavy Soul Arrow, but I don't have souls for it. Soul Spear Barrage sounds cool. It sounds like it's going to function like a simple idea, potentially highly effective when used properly. So it does high damage when the multiple spears hit. I think the way this works is that this is effectively Bearing Hail in Dark Souls 3. That's what it was changed
Young
to.
pupil.
Kills, 2 in slots, 4. I could get rid of normal Fireball for that. So let's do that. First one on fire, return spell, get rid of normal Fireball, put on Yearn, just in case. Hush silences your movement and fall control, makes it harder for enemies to see you. I'm just going to just go full blown with this. And I might as well keep on from Sway Tentacles or try on Great Soul Arrow. And if you want to use sorceries, you can't utilize a Pyromancy Flame, you have to utilize a Sorcery Catalyst, which are staves. B and B, B and B, D and A. Okay, Arctic Staff is the best for this thing. Anyway, the way Yearn works is you basically cast a spell, launch that little wisp of magic, and when it hits a wall, causes enemies to run over towards it. Works especially well for hollows. Maybe I could enhance this a bit more, even though I'm not really using full damage. So basically, when it comes to staves, this is just your basic staff. Oh, it actually has better magic. And a higher casting time. Huh. Might as well stick with the Archdrake Staff while I have it. The Archdrake Staff is basically an all-around staff. Even though the Archdrake Sect of Lindo specializes in miracles, some of them do dabble in sorceries, as shown by this description in Lindo. So Lindo is known for its clerics and for their miracles. Sorcery is believed to be a profane practice, but as with any things such as beliefs, are part faith and part front, and the staff is born from that hypocrisy, meaning that the Archdrake Sect of Lindo utilize sorceries as often as they do miracles. They just believe that sorceries are a profane practice that infringes upon the sanctity of the soul or some stupid shit like that. Also, if you go up here to the Act of Mulwin's shop, there's a wooden lockbox, and inside of that wooden lockbox is a singular shard of Titanite. I don't know why he was holding on to a singular shard of Titanite. Maybe it belongs to the previous owner. I'm not sure, since Mulglin admits that he's basically a squatter that set up
I'm
shop
glad.
here. Anyway, as with his new armor, he also sells bits of the Elite Knight set, which is pretty good. Oh hey, he sells the World Swordsman as the leggings. Maybe. As with any of the weapons here, I'd say the one that I recommend the most would probably be the Falconeer set, and maybe the Elite Knight set. Because that has 43, that has that 100 odd. So, let's see, this has 70, that has 100 all around.
Always open for business.
I think I'll be fine with the Hexer set, though. Also, one of the hexes I learned is a Dark Orb. It's your basic hex, so lets you launch a Dark Orb relatively quickly. It doesn't have the best range, but it does hit hard. Anyway, that does it for this episode. I'm going to terminate the stream now. Ooh, I dropped 51 frames. That's not good. I'm going to terminate the stream now, then. Until then, I hope you guys have a